Welcome to Be Bold Branding. There is one difference between the word bitter and better, and it is just one letter.
Yep. Hey, folks, listen, the things that we're experiencing right now may be a first, but this is not the first time we have dealt with adversity. We being the world effectively, and especially in America. And it's definitely not the last time, I assure you. Today we're going to be talking about 5 ways to remember you are better. I think this is good. It's going to be an inspirational reminder that we all need to keep our eye on the prize.
I'm Tonya Michael, founder of BrandFace. We help business stars differentiate themselves, and we do that through personal branding.
And I'm Michael Carr. I'm the COO of BrandFace. I was a client before I became a full-fledged partner in the company, and we are the only comprehensive personal brand building system on the globe. So thank you for joining us today.
And before we get started, want to remind you guys to hit your like button, share this video with a friend or coworker, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We consistently work hard to bring you educational and inspirational content to help you become a business star every single week. So subscribe and get notified as soon as one of these new videos comes out.
Yep, and if you have an inspirational quote you'd like to share with us today that has made you feel better during everything that we've had to experience lately, then please share it in the comments, and we'll be glad actually to call it out.
Yep, and so now we're going to go ahead and get started with the number one thing, which is count your blessings. So I love this quote from Rorian Gracie, who is actually a Brazilian writer, a jiu-jitsu grandmaster, and the co-founder of Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Yeah, you talk about somebody's faced down some demons now.
Oh,
because he was doing that back when it really was dangerous.
Absolutely. So he says, in life, nothing happens to you, it happens for you.
Love that.
It happens for you. So that is really important when it comes to counting your blessings, guys, because we can all look at the times that are happening, all these uncertain things around us right now, and think, okay, all this stuff is happening to me, and what am I going to do, and how am I going to survive, and all of the things that naturally go through our heads during a time like this, right? Mm-hmm. Or we can say, hey, this is what's happening for me. As you guys know, no doubt, you can look it up and find in every part of life, in every part of history, there has always been adversity. And there have always been people that have overcome, that have succeeded, that have prospered during this time. And so another quote behind counting your blessings is from Eckhart Tolle, one of my favorite authors, says, acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. Counting your blessings should be something we all wake up every day and do. It's not a surprise to any of you, but the surprise can come with how greatly it impacts your life when you do count your blessings and you are grateful. I love the old idea of a grateful journal. Every night before you go to sleep, write down 3 things that you're grateful for.
Yeah.
That day, just that day, 3 things that you're grateful for. It's life-changing. It really is.
It absolutely is. You know, number 2 is remember how far you've come. My great-grandfather actually, and through my grandfather, he always said that it's very important that we stop and take stock. And I think that's really good. We're saying the same thing, right? Georgia O'Keeffe says, you get whatever accomplishment you are willing to declare. Now, I love this. I think this is very important. And I do it all the time. I'm saying I'm releasing this to the universe, right? Because if you say it and you commit to it, it's more than just saying it, right? Because saying it can be vanity. Like we just say things and we don't really mean them. And, like, how are you today, but no, we really, like, there are a lot of things we just say on the whim and we probably shouldn't or whatever. I think he's talking about something different here. When we declare it, like I remember the first office building I ever bought for the company. It was long before the company even existed, and I rode by this building and I just loved it. I thought the building was cool, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna buy that building one day. And 2 years later, I did. I bought it, and we put the brokerage in it, and that's how we got started, our humble beginning. So anyway, another one is to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Love it. Love it. It's absolutely great to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is your greatest accomplishment. I love that. Be true to yourself.
Yep, yep. And what's so interesting with this, I have to put a sidebar note on this, because yesterday I spent time with my dad and we drove down to my birthplace, which was Monticello, Georgia. And we actually finally located what we believe is the hospital that I was born in. And my dad talked to, I'm going to do a whole blog post about this and possibly a video on it, because I call them dad ventures. I'm not the one to make up the word, but man, when you spend the day with my dad, it's a dad venture.
It is a dad venture.
It's a dad venture, and he's awesome. And so yesterday we had a lot of historical moments, and it reminded me of how far he had come. Because he was talking about, we even went to the courthouse in Winder where my mom and dad got married. And he said, honey, when I first saw that courthouse building, a flood of memories came back to me. And he thought of all of that, going in to get married. And then, Monticello was just a little piece down the road, and that's where I was born. And then just all of these memories that I saw going through his head, and I got to hear so many stories yesterday I had never heard, and it just reminded me, when we put this together, remember how far you've come.
Yeah.
Remember how far you've come, because you didn't get where you are without hard work, persistence, a dream, a goal. Remember all of that, guys. Okay? All right, so I'm sorry I piggybacked on top of yours.
I'll go
but
right
you can
ahead.
do the
Pick
same
your
the next one, okay?
Yep.
The third one is remember your value, but not just your value to the people that you serve. So what would happen to your customers and your friends and your family without you, right? I think good old Ben Franklin had one of the best quotes that applies to this ever, and he says, when the well is dry, they know the worth of water. They know the worth of water.
Very good.
So think about, in terms of making a business star, which is personal branding. It's, a lot of what we help our clients do is declare, as George O'Keefe says, the greatest accomplishment is when you're willing to declare that you are a lifestyle locator, you're a transition agent, you're whatever that, brand identifier for you is. But realize what that means to the people that you serve, and how their life is made better just by you being in it and doing the things that you love to do every day. And don't forget that, because that's the why. That's the big why behind us, right? And then another quote from another incredible individual. I love his quotes. I have to giggle every time I hear one almost, but this one I didn't giggle at. It really hit me. And Mark Twain says, the two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Isn't that gives me chills, and it made me
Samuel
think of
Clemens.
It made me
He
think
could
of
do
it.
it.
Samuel Clemens made me think of the trip yesterday. I found out where I was born, right?
Yep.
And then the day you find out why, the second most important day in your life. I thought that was so powerful, so powerful.
Well, I think what's powerful about number 3 right here is the very important part of remembering the value that you bring, right? We all have bad clients, crazy clients that we don't get along with, problems, hiccups, things, bumps in the road, obstacles, if you will. But hey, you have to remember your own value. Like, it's very important. If you don't value yourself, nobody else does. And sometimes you have to be the only pencil in a room full of erasers. But but be that way, because guess what? Next thing you know, you'll find yourself in a room with other pencils.
Yeah. I mean, in the rock, scissors, paper, who thought the rock could crush the scissors?
Right.
Scissors like to cut you, man. Right? And the rock crushes them.
That's exactly right.
Just
number 4,
soapbox.
put your positivity blinders on. I love this one. Listen, if you're around me any length of time, I'm going to tell you, if somebody will say, hey, how's things going? I'll be like, every day's Saturday in my world, baby. And they like, I wish I could live that world. And I'm like, you can, because you put your positivity blinders on, I get frustrated just like anybody else. I get wound up just like anybody else. I get mad just like anybody else, but I don't live in that moment, and I get through it just as fast as I can, and I move on to something else. And it is a mental exercise you do. So nothing can screw up our perception more than someone else's opinion. You know what I mean? Listen to what blows my mind. This is what blows my mind. Like, we talk a lot about this with our clients, about freedom. and how important freedom is, right? We don't do what we do for money. We act like we do what we do for money. The truth of the matter is all humans just want to be free, right? And we're lucky enough to live in America where we are, right? And we need to maintain that. We need to remember all of those people who have sacrificed the ultimate to be sure that we are free. But I've never in my life seen more people that base how they feel on somebody else's opinion. And it's a practice, actually. It's something that we fall victim to, and you gotta get rid of that, right? Dr. Wayne Dyer says, it's one of Tonya's favorite sayings, and she brought it to me. I love it. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Okay, and it's a constant. Here's what you do. The Toltecs called it they called it the matote. And in our mind are thousands and thousands and thousands of words that we've been told all our years, all our lives. And it's from the TV, and it's from the radio, and it's from our parents, and from our grandparents, and it's from our brothers, our sisters, our friends, our second grade school teacher, all of them. And they can be positive and they can be negative. They could have been positive, we took them negative. They could have been negative, we were smart and took them positive. Like, it just depends on how they come in. And you've got to get that out of the way. And the best way to do it is to change the way you look at things. Right? And then Winston Churchill said, I love this one, you'll never reach your destination if you stop and throw stones at every dog that barks. That there's the constant, you've seen our videos where we talk about haters and why we love them. Listen, I heard a guy saying it the other day, let your haters go ahead and comment, leave their comments up on your YouTube, comment back with something positive. Now you got 2 comments. Right. And he said, and YouTube's going to count them both. And so you got to do it. And this is what we're getting to, changing that I to an E, right? The difference in being bitter and the difference in being better.
And the 5th one today of how you can make sure that you are better is to remember to take action on your dreams. Sometimes that involves creativity. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it involves pivoting or even a paradigm shift. But I can promise you one thing, doing nothing gets you no farther than you are right now.
That's right.
So John Wooden says, do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do.
Love it.
Yeah.
Do y'all know who John Wooden is?
Yep.
The greatest basketball coach in history.
12-time winner, right?
Yep.
12 times.
But it took him like 17 years to get to that record.
UCLA coach. I think he played at Purdue himself.
Yep.
Was UCLA coach.
Yep.
But yeah, absolutely. And I love it. It's worth reading again. Do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do.
Yes.
So stop focusing on the can'ts and focus on the cans, right?
That's right.
And
then get all you can and can all you get and sit on you can.
And don't complain about what you can't have.
Hey, listen.
That had to be from your grandpa, right?
I got to I don't know where I heard that actually. I don't believe I can give it to grandpa, but the person I heard it from probably somebody's grandpa. So,
that's true.
Grandpa,
Michael's grandpa has has so many quotes. Actually, we're compiling all those quotes right now to put into a coffee table book called Well, Grandpa Used to Say.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Coming soon to a coffee table near you.
That's right. Well, as I wrap this thing up, I got to say, too, that one of my favorite quotes was Paul Harvey. And Paul Harvey said that in times like these, it's always good to remember there have always been times like these. And I think that's fantastic, too, because nothing in life is new. There's nothing new under the sun. Yeah, we may hear of this and this first as we started this off and that first. But the fact of the matter is there was another first that mirrored up to it exactly the same way it is. And yet here we are in humanity, right? Greatest generations that's ever lived. We have more wealth globally than we've ever had, despite these ups and downs and fear tactics and all that kind of things, right? Throughout times in history, there are those times... those who plummet and those who prosper. And the only difference are these 5 things that we're talking about today. The things that make the difference, and the I and the E on the same word, right? And a quick recap is, number 1, count your blessings, folks. It's very important. Every day, every minute, if that's what it takes. Number 2, remember how far you have come. And because you know that distance, you're the one that's traveled it, and don't discount it. And number 3, remember your value to the people that you serve. We all have plenty of good examples of our clients that have been very happy with what we've done, right? Don't listen to the negativity of others. Number 4, put your positivity blinders on. If your negativity's coming from the news, watch just enough to keep an idea of what's going on and get away from it. Read something positive, right? Keep that positivity. Surround yourself with positive people. And number 5, take action on your dreams, folks. One foot in front of the other. Start it today. Work towards your freedom.
Preach it.
I did.
I
did.
He did.
I fixed to pound the
He
table,
threw
but I knew
down.
it would shake the camera. So
That's right. Don't do that.
I caught myself just in time.
Listen, I've already hit the wrong button and had an echo behind us.
Yeah.
But we overcame that, guys. We overcame it. It's what it's all about. Better, not bitter. All right. We hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. If you did, just a quick reminder to please like, share, and hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. It is at BrandFace Star.
Yep, we love to hear from you guys. Listen, it's all about prosperity. That's what we try to teach, and that's what we teach in our program. It's about prosperity, but we're not just talking about money. We're talking about the 360 of an abundant life that leads to freedom. That's what we're talking about. And we know right here that prosperity favors the bold. That's our favorite quote. So, folks, be bold, right? Especially with your brand, and stay bold, especially these days. And thank you, Miss Tonya.
Thank you, Michael. And if we can help you guys, reach out to us. Leave us a note in the comments. Tell us how we can help you. We can even schedule a free call with you and talk a little bit about your challenges and goals. Reach out to us, guys. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you here next time.
Bye.